Everyone says that dwelling in the wish fulfilled makes it so, and that the secret to dwelling is the feeling. Most of the time, when we use the word feeling, we are referring to an emotion. Therefore, we tend to assume that we must generate a happy emotion and sustain it. That's where we err, luckily. First of all, have you ever seen sadness turned into happiness in the midst of tragedy? Me neither. So where is the error? It is in the definition of feeling. It is not emotional feeling that is important. It is sensorial. Why? Because we are trying to deceive an automaton that lives within you, that primitive guardian that decides what is safe for you to experience. Which of your senses do you trust the most? I'll give you a hint. It is the one that elicits the quickest response and also the one that is the most primitive. It is your sense of touch. And guess what? It is also the easiest sensation to imagine. Let's use an example to unravel how this works. Say that you have a paralyzed dog you want to see walk again. You would pick something that would signify that he can. For me, walking him on a leash would be the emanation of my desire. No matter how sad, depressed, or hopeless I feel, I most certainly can imagine the feeling of the leash in my hand, the way leather feels touching my skin, the way end loop sits in my palm, the way it tugs and imprints when the dog pulls, the way I play with it in between my fingers. Can I add the feeling of the sidewalk beneath my shoes? The sound of my dog's toenails clicking on the pavement? The sight of my neighbor exclaiming, "Look at him walk!" I can, but I don't have to. And even if I did, none of that involved me changing my emotional state. That is how we inject the seed of change into our current emanation. It should not take more than 5 seconds to run that little sensorial movie in your mind. How often should you do it? As often as you can, especially as you're falling asleep or waking up. And then what? Then be observant. Your subconscious will lead you to 3D solutions, or preferably straight to miracles. There is also a little book I wrote on this subject, and I will link it in the description box if you're interested. But you don't need it. This video should suffice. So onward and upwards, my fellow deceivers.